right, Mayi. Well, first tell me, what did it mean to you to be nominated for Queen for a Day?
Oh, so it came at a very stressful time. So it was perfect timing. I had no idea this even existed. I didn't even know that I really needed it. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad I'm here.
That's awesome. So all today's winners have one major thing in common. They're all givers in extraordinary ways. And, of course, the reason why you're here. I will personally never forget meeting you at St. Baldrick's. Watching you shave your head to raise money for childhood cancer is something I will always remember. I think there were 42 people altogether that shaved their head that day. Mm-hmm. But to watch your hair all the way to your waist and that jolly smile bounce in that room, I loved you the minute I met you. And then to watch them shave your head and those tears running down your face, it was something I will never forget at all. Why did you do that?
So I've always been an advocate for American Cancer Society. My dad passed away when I was 17 years old of cancer, and it was kind of traumatic because it was out of nowhere almost. And then shortly after him, my father-in-law passed away almost 3 years after that, and then my mother-in-law almost 3 years after him, and then my grandmother a couple of years. So it was like back to back to back to back.
All from cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I kind of used Relay for Life, American Cancer Society, as therapy for me to be able to deal with it. And then I had a friend, her brother had passed away, who I knew, but he was 18 when he was diagnosed, and he passed away just before his 21st birthday. So I decided that I was going to shave my head for him, and I went on the website, and I saw a couple other people, so I actually randomly picked Wes. And that was an experience in itself, meeting him and following him and Krista and everything that they, were fighting for. And then my friend who was there shaving her head, she has 4 daughters now, and the oldest was the only one that remembered her uncle. So she knew what it meant. At the time, I think she was 14 when I shaved my head. So she was sitting there right in front of me, and as soon as she started crying, that's when I lost it.
I was wondering, always wondered, because, I was watching you. I shaved my head right after you, I believe, or right before you. No, I think I was last circuit.
Yeah.
And I remember watching you, and it's like you went from, this is fun, because there's all this electric energy while you're on stage before they shave your head. And then all of a sudden, it was like someone flipped a switch, and I look up, and you have tears just rolling down. But at the same time, I don't even know if you realize it. I mean, your hair, she had taken it, and, it just dropped. I didn't know if it was you seeing the drop of the floor or what. So it was looking at her.
Mm-hmm. Her name's Alexis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely life-changing event. So one of the girls that we shaved our head with, she, a week later, comes up to me and she said, I'm really emotionally struggling. She said, I didn't realize having all that hair, what it does to you. And I just tried to walk her through it. Did it bother you?
It did, in the sense that you don't realize how vain you are.
Yeah.
When you think, that you're so humble. And you and I had talked about people thinking that we had cancer. And it almost felt like an insult because I still didn't feel
worthy?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, because I didn't go through that struggle. But my struggle was different. So I try to learn to embrace that hurt and just use it to this positive energy that I get from you every time I'm around you. And I forget sometimes, I get so wrapped up in my own world and trying to, accomplish my own goals that I forget sometimes that positive energy is out there for me as well, like not just for me to give to somebody else. So it's hard for me to ask for that hug,
She's got these tears again, I remember.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I started that. You do some of these events and they really mess with your heartstrings. When I signed up to do St. Baldrick's, I really had no reason. It was a personal challenge. You know, to me, it's just sign up, raise money for another cause. It's like, oh, you shave your head. Well, hair grows back. No big deal. And then a week before that, I was running a weight loss challenge for one of my clients. And one of our participants, she had been telling me for months that her son is struggling. That Friday, he was diagnosed with leukemia. So when we actually did the head shaving event, the mom was there cheering me on.
I remember.
And I had no reason to really do it up to that point. And then a year later, we watch a 2-year-old die of cancer. So just crazy how you think you really have so much distance from all these organizations. And it honestly does feel good to actually pay it forward and be part of the positive before you deal with the real aftermath of what those diseases can do for you.
And then we're all connected somehow, some way.
Well, thank God, because me and you, friends forever after that.
And then I look at the pictures years later, and I look back, and I remember people telling me that there were firefighters there. And at the time, I was not even a thought process to be a firefighter.
So,
I had no clue.
So you didn't realize when we started this whole event, it was a partnership with First Advantage. My company at the time was Marketing Monster. And then First Advantage's spouse was
James City County Fire Department.
James City County Fire Department. So what do you do to now?
Yeah.
How life turns around. So what made you become a firefighter? Because I think at that time you were in sales.
I was in sales, and I had a couple of life-changing things that happened to me. I was in a long-term relationship, and that ended kind of abruptly. And I had lost my job about a month later. So I went into a bout of depression.
Wish I would have known, girlfriend. That's what we're there for, remember?
So once I dug myself out of that hole, I joined a CrossFit gym because a friend of mine opened up a gym. I was never really into it. She kept trying to get me to do it. I'm like, no, you guys are crazy. You're crazy people. But it was good therapy, and I wanted to support her. We went to college together, and I was happy that, small business, local business owner. So I did it, and I got hooked. I guzzled the Kool-Aid. And I was just there 5-6 days a week. I got surrounded by amazing people. It was just such a great support network without even really knowing each other's backgrounds. Just immediately family network. So a couple of the people there naturally were firefighters. And I was struggling trying to find a job. I didn't want to just do a job because I was good at it. I wanted something to mean something to me and to others. I was going to do something positive. So working out, I was like, well, what can I get paid to work out? Mm-hmm. Like, I even was telling Carl, like, maybe massage therapy. I need a reason to keep fit. So I was talking to some firefighters, and one of them was a paramedic, and I was like, oh, I think that's it. I think that's what I want to do. She goes, well, you kind of have to do the firefighting stuff too, if you want to go that route, and they'll pay for the school, your training, everything. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And I started building my resume there. I started volunteering in Hampton, and I just got hooked. I ended up liking the firefighting side just as much, but I mean, my heart is still with the EMS side. I just recently became certified as a paramedic.
Awesome! Congrats.
Thank you.
That's its own big accomplishment, because most people don't realize that less than 4% of this nation's firefighters are female.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, is it because it is so physically challenging to actually graduate the academy, or is it a lack of interest because it is so physically grueling?
I struggle with that question a lot, because a reason this was a good fit for me, because I wanted to be, in previous jobs I got stagnant. So I wanted to be in a job where I was going to be mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually challenged on a regular basis. And by golly, I am. Every day.
Watch what you ask for,
yes.
right?
But, and I always, maybe I'm biased, I always do feel like women are mentally stronger. And I feel like that has been the biggest challenge, is being mentally strong. Not so much the physical stuff. I feel, honestly, if you have that mental strength, it'll everything else will fall in place. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question why, because I feel like it's a good fit for women, honestly. I think if they would get over all their insecurities that we all have, we all struggle, not even get over it. If you just embrace your insecurities and just go out there like you were saying it earlier, just own it.
Own it.
Yes.
You have to own it.
Yep.
You know, and once again, you grow the most when you push the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't grow at all if we're never pushing.
Exactly.
Well, I have loved you since the moment I met you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And it's awesome to have two winners here today that I personally have had experience and watched y'all hands-on change the community. And no, I did not vote. Did not vote for Queen for a day because I knew so many of the nominees. But it's just been a blessing, and I'm so happy that you won. So deserving.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to tell anybody? Somebody who might want to get into being a firefighter?
I am always willing to mentor somebody if willing, you know. I am always there to help, you know, whether in any way. I will take my time to help them study, to help them get physically fit, get mental, whatever it is that they need. I'm always there to help. I like to pay it forward because people have done that for me.
That's awesome.
I'd also like to thank Angie.
Aww. Yeah, so your nomination came in from a police officer.
Yes.
The other side.
Yes.
The blue line against the red line.
Yes.
Or partners in crime, really.
Yep.
Truly.
Yep.
So what is the story behind Angie? Where did y'all meet?
So Angie and I met through a mutual friend who was a firefighter. And we met one time, and it was kind of a big party, so we didn't really... I mean, we connected, said hello. It was fun to meet her. And then we saw each other at a Relay for Life event. I was on the...
Go figure. Good people meeting people.
She was
that
there
are good at
representing
events.
Hampton Police, and I was there, Hampton volunteer firefighter. And I said, hey, I met you at, you know, such and such birthday party. And she's like, oh my God. And literally from that day on, we've been attached at the hip.
And she is a tough cookie, being a female
and
canine
that's why I call her
police
my
officer.
cookie.
She is one tough cookie. So you met your match on that one.
I did.
Well, thanks so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And I love you, and we will celebrate
Thank
tonight.
you.